A fragile peace, the Gaza ceasefire. On January 19, 2025, a glimmer of hope emerged from the ashes of conflict. Israel and Hamas, locked in a deadly embrace for years, agreed to a ceasefire. This truce, brokered after intense negotiations, promised a temporary respite from the violence that has ravaged Gaza. The ceasefire, structured in phases, aimed to secure the release of Israeli hostages captured during the October 2023 conflict. In return, Israel would release Palestinian prisoners held in its jails. The agreement brought a fragile peace, a chance for Gaza to rebuild and for families to reunite. But this peace, like many before it, proved precarious. Accusations and tensions, cracks in the truce. Barely a month into the ceasefire, accusations flew thick and fast. Hamas, the de facto ruling authority in Gaza, accused Israel of undermining the agreement. They pointed to delays in the release of Palestinian prisoners as a blatant violation. Hamas claimed that Israel was deliberately obstructing the delivery of humanitarian aid, desperately needed in the war-torn enclave. The return of 3 released hostages, emaciated and traumatized, further fueled Palestinian anger. Hamas, in a calculated move, announced a pause in further hostage releases. This warning signal was intended to pressure Israel into honoring its commitments. The ceasefire, already strained, began to unravel. Israel's stand denial and defense. Israel vehemently denied Hamas's accusations. It maintained that it was committed to the ceasefire and was fulfilling its obligations. The Israeli government attributed any delays to logistical issues, not malice. The Israeli military, wary of Hamas's intentions, reinforced its presence along the Gaza border. Prime Minister Netanyahu, facing mounting international pressure, convened his security cabinet. Israel's defense minister labeled Hamas's actions a complete violation of the ceasefire. The Israeli narrative, however, rang hollow for many in the international community, particularly in light of the humanitarian crisis unfolding in Gaza. The world watches international response and potential fallout. The international community watched with growing concern as the ceasefire teetered on the brink. Qatar, instrumental in brokering the agreement, continued its mediation efforts. Egypt and the UN also stepped up their diplomatic engagement, urging both sides to exercise restraint. The humanitarian situation in Gaza, meanwhile, deteriorated rapidly. The ceasefire, designed to bring relief to Gaza, seemed to be doing the opposite. If the truce collapses completely, the consequences will be devastating. Another cycle of violence will only deepen the suffering in Gaza and further entrench the cycle of hatred and mistrust. The world waits, hoping that diplomacy will prevail, that peace, however fragile, will get another chance.